You've heard this line, probably more times than you can count. I started with nothing. No money. No connections. No backup plan. Just hard work and belief. And every single time you hear it, something inside you shifts. It feels possible. It feels real. Like maybe, just maybe, you could do the same. Because if someone else really started from zero, then what's stopping you? But here's the part nobody tells you. Not every story that sounds true is fully true. Some are simplified. Some are edited. And some are built to be believed. This is one of those stories. His name was Aaron Blake. If you've ever spent time online, especially late at night, you've probably seen someone like him. Calm voice. Clean background. Simple lifestyle. Nothing flashy. Nothing distracting. Just a man, talking about discipline. Talking about focus. Talking about how he went from being completely broke to making more money than he ever imagined. And people listened. Not just because of what he said, but because of how he said it. There was no arrogance. No showing off. No, look at my cars, energy. Just quiet confidence. The kind that makes you trust someone instantly. His videos were everywhere. Short clips. Long podcasts. Motivational edits. All repeating the same core idea. I had nothing, and I figured it out. And that line hit people hard. Because life feels confusing. Messy. Unpredictable. But his story? It was simple. Wake up early. Work harder than everyone else. Stay consistent. That's it. No complicated systems. No hidden tricks. Just effort. And for a while, that was enough. People didn't question it. Because they didn't want to. They wanted it to be true. They needed it to be true. Because if success really was that simple, then maybe their life could change too. But then, something small happened. Not a scandal. Not drama. Just a question. A simple observation. Someone noticed one of his older videos. He called it his early days. Said he was struggling. Said he had nothing. But the room behind him told a slightly different story. The desk looked expensive. The lighting was clean. The camera quality, sharp. Not what you'd expect from someone at zero. Still, people ignored it. Because one detail doesn't break a story. But then more details started showing up. Another clip surfaced. Older. Less polished. But clearer. In that video, you could see something he never mentioned again. A full setup. Camera gear. Microphone. Editing system. This wasn't someone figuring things out from scratch. This was someone who had already started. And suddenly, the timeline didn't feel right. Because starting from nothing doesn't look like that. At least not for most people. And that's when the questions got louder. Not hate. Not accusations. Just curiosity. How did he actually start? But Aaron didn't really answer. He didn't lie. But he didn't explain either. He kept repeating the same lines. Same story. Same structure. And for a while, it still worked. Because confidence can cover a lot of gaps. And clarity can hide a lot of truth. Then one day, everything shifted. Not because of a big expose. Not because of drama. But because of one person. Someone who knew him. Not online. Not through videos. But in real life. A former classmate. No audience. No followers. Just someone who had nothing to gain. And they said something simple. He didn't start from nothing. That was it. No long thread. No detailed breakdown. Just one sentence. But that sentence changed how people saw everything. Because when someone from your past speaks, it hits differently. People started asking more questions. Looking deeper. Connecting pieces. And slowly, a clearer picture started to form. Aaron wasn't rich. But he wasn't struggling either. His family had a stable business. Nothing crazy. But enough to provide security. Enough to remove pressure. They supported him. They gave him a place to stay. They helped him get his first equipment. And most importantly, they gave him time. Time to try things. Time to fail. Time to learn without consequences. And that changes everything. Because most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they can't afford to fail. They don't have the luxury of trying something for months with no result. They don't have backup. They don't have support. So they play safe. They move slower. They hesitate. Not because they lack ambition. But because the risk is real. And that's the part these stories don't show. Not because they're trying to deceive you. But because the truth is complicated. And complicated doesn't go viral. Simple does. 0 to millionaire sounds powerful. It's clean. Easy to understand. Easy to believe. But reality? Reality is layered. Messy. Different for everyone. And when you remove those layers, you create something dangerous. An illusion. Because now, someone watching that video starts questioning themselves. Why am I not there yet? Why is this so hard for me? Am I doing something wrong? But they're comparing their real life to someone else's edited version. And that comparison, it's not fair. Because they're missing context. And context is everything. Now here's the important part. This doesn't mean Aaron didn't work hard. He did. He built something real. He stayed consistent. He improved. He showed up every day. That part is true. But it's not the full picture. And when you only see half the picture, you make the wrong conclusions. You chase the wrong strategy. You expect the wrong results. So what should you do instead? Simple. Stop looking for perfect stories. Start looking for real ones. Ask better questions. Not, how did he get rich? But, what advantages did he have? What risks did he take? What would this look like in my situation? Because your path will never look exactly like theirs. And that's okay. In fact, that's the only way it works. So next time you hear someone say, I started from nothing, don't just accept it. Don't reject it either. Just look deeper. Because the truth is usually somewhere in between. And once you understand that, everything changes. You stop chasing motivation. And start building strategy. You stop comparing. And start focusing. And most importantly, you stop waiting for the perfect story. And start creating your own.